Oh no. Our Dementor's little hipster beanie fell off, and there's a plunger. I don't care about the plunger. Hold on, let's put this back on. My favorite thing on our shelf is our Dementor, who's got a sweet, sweet beanie on.
It's Dementor Jude.
Dementor Jude. Look at how cute he is. Like, this makes him instantly not scary.
3, 2, 1, go.
What's up, everybody? My name is Nick Murphy. I'm one half of the Brothers Murph, and this is Metagame Minute. Metagame Minute is a weekly segment where Mike or I talk about anything we want to talk about in the board gaming world today. This week, I want to talk about second editions. Second editions are a thing that happens in board game. Basically, there's a game that comes out, and then sometimes, usually a number of years later, there will be a second edition that comes out. This has happened over and over and over and over again. And what made me think of this is Stop Thief is actually having a second edition by Restoration Games, who do sponsor the Brothers Murph. And we really like Stop Thief a lot. And we're not just saying that because we're sponsored by Restoration Games. It's in our contract. We don't have to say anything nice about them, but we do because they're very, very good to us and they're wonderful. And they also make great games. But Stop Thief is a really, really great game. And they are making a second edition of the game. And mostly what it's doing, as far as I can tell, is updating a couple things and mostly really pushing more of the cooperative version of the game. As far as we can tell, that's how most people play it because that's the best way to play it. Co-op Stop Thief is way better than competitive Stop Thief in our opinion. So now there are going to be robbers that are specifically work with co-op, whereas in the original game, the first edition there, I guess it's not the original game, this second game, this game right here, the robbers are only have special powers and stuff in the competitive version, not the cooperative version. So they're changing that, and you may see two people you recognize in the game, Bill Murray and Judi Dench. It's us. And so I was thinking about that because this is something that happens fairly often in games. I kind of want to talk about what do you think about second editions? Do you like second editions? Like, presumably the second edition is because they wanted to make the game better. But then a lot of people, I think, kind of go, well, you should have made it that way the first time. And sometimes they come out way later. Sometimes they don't come out that much later at all. Even my favorite game in the whole world, which is Viticulture, has essentially 3 versions of it. There is Viticulture. There's Viticulture 2nd Edition, which fixed a lot of stuff in the 1st edition. And now there's Viticulture Essentials Edition, which is the one you find in every store. We have Viticulture Essentials Edition, so we kind of got in on the last train. I don't imagine there's going to be a more essential version of the game. But nonetheless, there's been 3 versions of that game. And I understand people who get annoyed when they bought the first version of the game and then they come out with a better version and then they're just like, well, now I gotta buy it again. And I personally don't really care about it. I guess if I did get on the first one and they came out the second one, I would be more upset about it. But I don't know. It's one of those things that I kind of go back and forth with because there's lots of games. There's, say, Twilight Imperium, which has 4 editions out. There's Fury of Dracula, which has 4 editions out. There are, I mean, again, you can't get the older editions unless you buy them secondhand, but it's one of the things there's a lot of these games that kind of keep updating. So basically, what I want to know is how you feel about second editions or 3rd or 4th or 5th editions, and what makes you buy the new version. If you like, I already have Stop Thief. I really like Stop Thief as it is. The reason why we're going to get the 2nd edition, or why I would go out and buy the 2nd edition, is because the best way to play that game, in my opinion, is co-op, and then this makes that better. But it's like also one of the things you're like, well, then I just spent a bunch of money on a game that I'm not going to play anymore. So you're essentially spending double the money for a game if you think about it that way. And when is that worth it for you? What would need to change in the game? Like, if you already honestly really like the game, do you think it's worth it to get a second edition because some of the rules are cleaned up, or this thing is now this thing right here? What to you makes a significant enough difference to warrant a second edition is basically what I'm getting at. And I don't really have a great answer for that because second editions don't really bother me when they come out. If I really like the game and I don't feel like buying the new one, I just don't buy the new one. It doesn't really bother me at all. But I do understand people who get upset over, because a lot of people see first editions of games as like first draft of games and they feel like they should have done the work and come out with, they should have just waited and come out with the new one or whatever, you know. But nonetheless, let me know down in the comments below how you feel about this concept, because I think it's kind of interesting that we go through this a lot, where there's tons and tons of editions of the same game. But nonetheless, let me know down in the comments below what you think about this. And while you're down there, make sure to give us a thumbs up and give us a subscription as well. And consider checking out our Patreon. We are able to do these videos mostly because of our very, very kind patrons. Thank you so, so much for supporting us. And you can find a link to that in the description below. And until next time, I've been Nick Murphy. And whether or not you hate second editions or you absolutely love them and buy every single one, remember, the more meta, the more better.